Here we have a 1999 BMW Z3. It's the 2.3, which is one of the V6 models. The issue is the windows going up and down really slowly. Seen a couple videos on it, but I also saw some pitfalls, so I'm gonna just add some flavor to that to make sure no one messes anything up. There's really not a whole lot to it. It's only about a 15 to 20 minute process. Really all you have to take this door off is a couple spots. So there's this airbag thing here. This kind of slides out of the way, which I'll show you when there's a bolt here. There's also a bolt behind here, but really not a whole lot to go manage. A bunch of clips along the bottom. But I'll show you how to do that and the issues that I ran into that I wanted to flag that I didn't see in a different video. So first on the left-hand side here, you have this little airbag button. I'm sure different models have different items. These break really easily. Mine is already broken, but this is all you're looking at. There was basically a tab on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and it's by the corners. So you're probably gonna break this, but what I found, at least so far, is that this thing kind of just stuffs on here, and that's kind of good enough for me. Mine's not a pristine model by any chance, so if you got a nice one, you might want to be a little bit more careful or be ready to buy one of these covers. Once we have that open, what you're looking at is a T25 Torx bit. It's just a sheet metal screw, so pretty easy to get out. Now we're going to work to get to the bolt behind this. The driver's side's a little bit more difficult because you got your mirror controls here, as opposed to the passenger side, which is just a cover. There's the passenger side, at least on this particular model. Popping this out was actually pretty easy. There's just a clip on the top and a clip on the bottom. I don't even think we need to undo the connector. We just need to be able to get the Torx bit back here, which is another T25 Torx screw. So on this side, you have an actual machine screw. Only thing to be careful of is to make sure the screw doesn't fall into the door. I'm sure we could get it, but it won't make life easier. This piece here was the concern that I wanted to be clear about, because I think it's pretty easy to break if you're not careful. So this piece here sits like that, and it has to go forward. Don't try to pry it out directly like this way or this way, and it's because of these. So basically you have these clips and they kind of go in and catch on these two items here. I'm guessing it'll be really easy to break that. I actually scratched up my thing a bit here when I wasn't being careful, so just be careful when you're trying to get that item out. The next thing we need to do is go get all the plastic clips that go all across the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go do that now, and then I'm going to mark them with a piece of tape so you have an idea where they were. Okay, so we have these 5 locations where you have those, regular old plastic push pins. So I kind of highlighted them in tape so you'd have a rough idea where they are. Couple on the side. I highly recommend using some kind of tool like this. It's basically what it's for. You kind of pop in there and you can kind of clip things off. Be a little bit careful. This car's a little bit of a beater for me, but if you have a nicer model, you want to put some tape behind here, maybe a little bit, or even on the back of the tool here in order to avoid scratching things up. You can see I put a few little scratches in. For this car, no big deal, but if you got a nice car, then you don't want to have that happen. Now, once you have these off, the door will kind of move. Do not pop it off the door. You don't want to do that because that's going to require more work. This tool is another option, by the way. Bought this a while back. It's actually really nice. So this, you can squeeze it, and basically it will pop these pins out for you. That's another option. It's probably even safer. I didn't use it, but you could. Here's just a picture of what kind of clips we're talking about. So it's just these here, nothing special, pretty standard for the most part. I'm sure they're for other cars as well. But yeah, they all just kind of popped out relatively easily, and that's where we need to get to, because once we're here, we can get to the window, which is in here. Let me try to get a better view. Lighting is not so hot, it's pretty bright, but this is this foam item here, and you can see it's kind of like catching on all this rubber sticky stuff that they just put on the bottom. But we pop that out or push it off because behind here is the mechanism for the door, which I'll try to get a better light for. So we need to work behind here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm taking these boxes I have and just kind of gonna prop them in here to keep that open, so we have a little bit more working room. So you see this channel here. This channel is the key. There is a roller that goes in there, or a slider. This is on the outer door side, so not the side of the door that connects to the car, but the side that goes toward the rear of the car. This channel is what you need to fill with lubricant. And that's really all there is to it. Now we just kind of put it back together, and you know, it's like an 85-90% solution. Could you do more? Sure, but this will get the job done, and it's cheap and fast.